The built-in 800 by 600 high-resolution screen provides a detailed overview of the currently selected channel, without the need for external viewing software on a PC. Metering, gate and compressor activity, EQ, auxiliary bus settings, everything can be seen at a moment's glance. Top center of the screen, you can see a channel name and source input location as assigned by the patch bay. In the channel control area, we have preamp gain, a 20 dB pad switch, and a phantom power switch. If this channel is getting audio from a digital snake, then the control signal for these parameters is sent over a REACT connection to remotely control the preamp in the digital snake that is on the stage. Input metering can be done with these LEDs or with the input level for the gate, the first processor immediately after the preamp. Every channel has a dedicated gate processor. Press the gate display button to control details of the gate for the current channel. You can see the Gate On tab in the display here, so F2 button turns the gate on and off. You can control the parameters of the gate using these knobs, color-coded to match the functions in the display. Use the left and right buttons to change the assignment of these knobs, and you can see that in the display. Note that the gate can also run in expander or ducking modes. When you have the settings you want for the gate, you can press the channel display button to go back to the channel overview. The next processor on every channel is the compressor. Press the compressor display button to control details of the compressor. You can see the compressor on-off tab here, so F2 controls that just like the gate. And you can control the parameters of the compressor using these knobs. Both the gate and compressor have their own libraries where you can save your settings or recall factory suggested presets. We'll look at how to use these libraries in a moment. Pressing the Equalizer display button brings up a closer view of the high-pass filter and EQ. The channel EQ is a 4-band parametric with upper and lower bands switchable to shelving mode. The high-pass filter has its own dedicated on-off button, and you can see how it affects the frequency response in the display here. To control the EQ bands, select a band with the high, low, high, mid, and high buttons on the left. Then make settings for that band with the Q, frequency, and gain knobs. Like many parts of the M300, the Equalizer has a library where you can save your own settings into memory. There's also a good selection of factory presets. In the EQ over display, press the F4 button to select the library. Now you can see a list of settings, starting with the factory presets, followed by memory slots for user settings. When you find a setting that you like, press Recall, and that setting now is shown in the display and is functioning on that channel. Here is your pan knob. If your mixer is being used in an LCR setup, you'll find LCR settings on the screen here. You can send the current selected channel to the auxiliary and matrix buses with this section. Simply select the bus you wish to control and turn the level knob. You can see the setting for all output buses in the channel overview display. Any send that's post fader shows a green bar, and all other patch points show a blue bar. To set a patch point, use the Sends display button. Then use the cursor keys to highlight your selection, either pre-EQ, pre-fader, or post-fader, and then press Enter to select that patch point. But perhaps a faster way to mix auxiliaries and matrices is using the Sends On fader. First, turn on the Sends On fader with this button. Then select any of your mix buses, such as Auxiliary 1. Now you can mix Auxiliary 1 on the faders. Then select another bus, and you can mix that one on the faders. You can do the same for matrices and mix every channel to that matrix. Moving faders are so valuable here. I can instantly see what's being sent to each monitor on stage. Here's the mix to my lead vocalist monitor, here's my guitarist monitor, here's the drummer's monitor, and then the piano player's monitor. Turn off the Sends On fader and all these faders return to their function of controlling the main mix. There's also a library for the channel with all settings as a whole. In the channel overview screen, press F4 to select the library. You can see a list of factory presets, and then below that, user locations where you can store your own settings. To save your own settings, select one of the user memory locations and press F5 to store. You can now enter a name for your settings using the cursor keys and the data wheel to select each character. Press F8 to store.